Welcome to Explain America. I am your host, Kyle Becker. We've got a huge story for you. It's been flying under the radar. The mainstream media, they really don't want you to know this story. And it changes everything we thought we knew about the Russia hoax. It is absolutely damning. But before we get into that, please like, share, and join Explain America. We really appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, the whistleblower is a former Deputy National Intelligence Officer who served from 2015 to 2020. And he laid out a scathing firsthand account of how top intelligence officials were pressured under direct orders from the Obama White House to shape a 2017 intelligence community assessment that falsely painted a picture that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help Trump win. Now, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has been doing an outstanding job providing transparency to the American people. So while it has been argued on the other side that this is an old story, it is absolutely not an old story. These are new stories, and it just proves the dereliction of duty that mainstream media journalists have provided to the American people for the last 10 years almost. So Donald Trump, he was set up, he was framed, and this whistleblower is showing that the consensus view of the intelligence community that Russia interfered with the specific goal in mind to help Donald Trump is absolutely false. It is a hoax. And DNI Gabbard went to X and released a statement, and I'm going to read part of this. A whistleblower reveals how they were threatened by a supervisor to go along with the Obama-directed Russia hoax intelligence assessment, even though they knew it was not credible or accurate. The whistleblower refused. She said, "Yesterday we revealed the whistleblower's firsthand account of what happened to the ICA. This years-long efforts to expose the egregious manipulation and manufacturing of intelligence carried out at the highest levels of government and the IC, and how they were repeatedly ignored. Thank you to this courageous whistleblower and others who are coming forward now, putting their own well-being on the line to defend our democratic republic. Ensure the American people know the truth and hold those responsible accountable."
Right. Senator Warner refuses to speak the truth about how one of our whistleblowers came forward and approached his office numerous times about what had actually occurred, how he wouldn't go along with this fake intelligence manufactured report, was sidelined because of it. And guess what? Senator Warner's office wouldn't even give the whistleblower an email address to send his evidence of this.
Now, according to the notes provided at the Federalist, one of James Clapper's henchmen, of course, James Clapper is the former DNI, approached him and really put the screws down on him, telling him, "No, you can't talk like this." He said things such as, "There's reporting you are not allowed to see," adding that if you saw it, you would agree. And then really just pressured him, "You need to trust me." Well, this analyst was right in saying that this is an abandonment of standards. It is a breach of ethics in order to get pressured. And one of the things that Clapper's henchman did was threaten to deny a promotion if he came out and spoke out against the intelligence community. And I've read the documents, and much of what he said, myself being someone who's a trained Russia expert, I agreed, like just nodding my head the whole time. Because, for example, Putin interfered not just in the 2016 election, but in elections going back to at least Nixon, if not before. Obviously, the Russians have been engaged in dirty tricks against our country for a long time. But the bottom line is, was Trump really the only one? No, he came out and supported the Green Party candidate in that election. He also was playing both sides. He had compromising information on Hillary Clinton that he withheld because he expected Hillary Clinton to win. And it's funny because if you read it, they seem to believe our pollsters, which they were overhyping Hillary Clinton for a long time, and she never really had the huge support from the American people that the Russians apparently believed she did. They were even falling for our mainstream media smokescreen. So that tells you just how effective our disinformation is. I think the difference in Russia is their disinformation behind the scenes, but ours is in broad daylight in the public every day, 24/7 on cable news media with a few exceptions. So this is really one of the best stories I've seen in a long time to solidify that the Obama administration knew that the Russian narrative was misleading at best, if not full of holes and fallacious. And they had to know that dropping this bombshell narrative and really pushing it and hyping or pouring oil on the fire was going to lead to gross distortion of the understanding of Trump and his relationship to the Russians. Of course, there was no there there. They overhyped it. They not only did that, they spied on his campaign. They undermined his administration for 2 years. This is not how our politics goes. You do not undermine the successive administrations by weaponizing the intelligence community and law enforcement. It is unacceptable, regardless of your political party or affiliation, whether you like Donald Trump or you think he's the best president we've ever had. That is all irrelevant to the bottom line point that you do not weaponize the U.S. government to go after politicians and to rig our elections. Okay, so that is just a standard that we have to have on all sides, regardless, Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Independent, Libertarian. It doesn't matter. There are rules to the game, and if you broke those rules, you need to be held accountable. And I think that's what a lot of Trump supporters want. They saw Donald Trump get absolutely harassed with lawfare for years. Really, only some very incredible rulings against him, including the E. Jean Carroll case and the Manhattan case with the with the real estate properties, and it's all a joke, and it was all just contrived and made up to target an individual instead of enforcing the law. So if you have any thoughts on that, please respond to us. We really appreciate your support for our journalism, and we'd love to hear from you.